How are you feeling today, my friend?
I felt better. I felt better.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
going on?
I am dealing with a migraine since last night, and it's in a place now where I can function, but it's all right here. Just
What brings that on for you?
um, it can be anything. I mean, today's a rainy day. I mean, it can be the weather. It can be hormones. Um, Sometimes it can even be like if I've had a drink, like alcohol can sometimes do it. I found, unfortunately, even though I love garlic can bring it on.
Really?
Yeah, it's all sorts of random things. Sometimes it can just be, I have no idea. Like, I mean, I can only speculate with the
Hmm.
weather that it might be because of the shift in weather.
Hmm.
Um, that definitely does it, but it's here, and it started last night, and I had to go through. I have a sort of a trick that it was an old boss who taught me it, which is to freeze it in ice water.
Hmm.
So I turn the shower on like absolutely cold, and then I just stick my head under until I can't tolerate it anymore. And it hurts. Like it's almost like it takes the migraine to another level, but then lets up. And then
Okay.
so
You
I
find
did.
that it helps a little bit.
Oh, it helps a lot.
Oh,
It
good.
helps a lot. Yeah. It's like it's almost, do I want to deal with the pain for an extended period of time, or do I just want like just to like a condensed version of it that I know afterwards is gonna let up? Because what I used to do is take warm showers, and while I was in the shower it soothed it, but then afterwards it made it worse.
Oh,
So it's like I
yeah.
yeah. So I did that at 6 a.m. and then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up again around 10. Did it a second round and took some Tylenol, and then went back to sleep. And now it's still, the headache's still there, but I can function.
Okay.
So, which I'm glad I can do this. But then
Well,
it
I'm
made,
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm just sorry that you're experiencing that.
Right. My thought was, so today, with that being said, we should talk about our health and how we're managing health wise through all of this. And stress is another trigger. I mean, it could be stress too. I
Sure.
don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but, as you know, I also have fibromyalgia
Mhm.
that I was back in December diagnosed with, in endometriosis. So, in the migraines.
Got to manage all that as best as you can. And
Right,
I
right,
would imagine, as we've discussed in previous conversations, that every day is different.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, just learning, like today, like I slept half the day, and that's okay. And to get to a place where you're like, that's what my body needs.
Yep.
That's what I have to do. And that's not being lazy. That's managing.
Yes.
Right. And that rest is actually managing, uh, whatever's, whether it's the fibro or the migraine or any of it, pain in the general is just debilitating and it's tiring.
Yes.
Um, so and then just doing what I can with the rest of the day and finding successes where I can, like i
Yes.
i did manage to go out and pick up a prescription, like, yay.
Huge.
Like
That's
getting
huge.
outside.
That's a victory.
Right,
And that's
right.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? Like, how are you feeling? How you've been feeling?
I'm doing pretty well. I had 2 days where my anxiety was pretty anxious. I
Mm.
feel better today, but I think I told you on Wednesday that I was listening to a podcast and I had gone out for my walk. And I think this is part of being the highly sensitive, the empath, and any number of other characteristics. I'm not saying that right, but all these other things that sort of come into play with where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was all excited to go on my walk, and I started listening to this podcast, and it wasn't just that I got angry, it was like my body shut down, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't finish my walk. I came back, took my headphones, turned the podcast off, and sat on my bed with a cup of coffee, and it was just like, okay, I just need to breathe. And we don't talk about politics on here. We haven't so far, but I just felt so frustrated about the subject in this podcast, and it triggered, right? Like a thing, a huge physical reaction in me. So I think it's really checking in and, what do I need to do? What am I feeling? Okay, I need to sit down right now with a cup of coffee and just chill the hell out. That's what I needed. And it's like for you, if you're having a day where your fibro is acting up or you have a migraine or whatever, any number of things, what do I need to do? And I think that at this point in our lives, we probably have a pretty good sense of what we need to do.
Right.
So that anxiety thing for me was Wednesday, and yesterday I was better, and I actually went to Costco, which was good for me. This was something I wanted to bring up because I'm finding that being isolated and being accustomed now to being isolated, the idea of going out and hanging out with other people, and I even said this to you because now my son is here, to have been this way for so long and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a person in my midst. It's crazy how your brain kind of feels like, wait, whoa, I'm supposed to be isolated. So I was anxious about going to Costco. And yet once I got there, oh, I hear Fred's ready for his dance party. Once I got there, I was like, oh, the good thing about, I had my mask on, and everybody except for two young women had masks on, and no judgment on them because who knows, but everybody had a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I actually was talking yesterday to a guy friend of mine who's also been in isolation, and he's been feeling really anxious. I said, may I suggest a little homework project for you? Go out and run an errand, because it's unnatural for us to now feel like, oh, we can't interact with anyone else ever again.
Right.
And I felt good after my Costco run. I spent too much money, but it was like, I got food. So to feel like, okay, I have food, and
Right.
that was a small victory.
Right. No, I hear you. It is, I mean, just going and getting my prescription, it was through the drive-through, which is still the interaction was between, like there was the glass between us. So we're also right now in Massachusetts, I should point out, we're in our surge right now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to, say, in another week or 2 weeks, and once we're over the peak, to be able to then go back out to stores and stuff. Because for me, that anxiety of knowing that we're at our peak and is like, to me, you look around and it's like my mind, it's like coronavirus could be anywhere. Well,
that's true. So so I think you have to go inward and see, right. Oh, is running an errand going to be good for me, or maybe it's not going to be good for me?
Right. Yeah,
you have to look at that.
Right. But even if it's just, if you're not going out somewhere in public where there's other people around, even just getting out and going for a walk where, you could see, oh, there's somebody there, there's somebody over there, and still having that distance, but still feeling like you're out and
you're connected.
Yeah. And participating in an activity that other people are participating in, just, you're not, there's enough distance between you that you can feel comfortable. Because that anxiety of it plays on that, unknown enemy, right? It's the enemy's out there and you just don't know where the enemy is,
Right.
That can be overwhelming for people.
Yes.
For me, it's just, I can't wait to be able to, go out to my mailbox and get mail, or, go to the grocery store and bring groceries in and just put them away without having to go through this, like 3-step process of like, okay, bring it in, wash your hands, wash everything else down, and wash my hands again, like that constant process of sanitizing everything and making sure everything is, clean, and there's, I have to think about everything that I touched along the way, and it's a lot. It's a lot of mental
exhausting. Yeah.
So can't wait for that to get past that, and I don't know how long that will be.
Yeah.
It's even, I was thinking about this summer, and I had a thought earlier today of, oh, it'd be great to get everybody together. I was thinking about like all my friends, like, having a barbecue, and I'm like, but okay, but it probably still need to be under 10 people. And like, all of a sudden my brain went to this place, and I don't know, like, are we going to be in a position that is actually a safe thing to do? Because what if somebody has it and you don't know somebody, like.
So that's the thing about what we've learned, and what I think we have to remember as coaches for ourselves and for our clients, is just trying to stay in right now.
Right.
Just
Right.
for that reason. I know.
Right. But that's my point, is that it's hard, like, because a lot of times I don't realize how often I think to the future, to
Of
be like,
course.
oh, well, that's a, possibility. Like, even with taking the class, oh, I'm going to get my certification, and then I'm going to be able to, and then all of a sudden this, this whole thing happens. So looking ahead, and that's why, as you said, it's important to be in the moment, because when you look ahead, there is still a lot of uncertainty out there on all levels, even when you brought up politics with the election and what's going to happen with that. And it's just a lot. And so it's like just very much living in the moment is a necessity, particularly for the brain. The brain needs to live in the moment right now, because
that's
if it
right.
goes ahead, 9 times out of 10 right now, it's going to find something that's not going to be, that's going to be something to worry about, or so.
Yeah. So that's why, a day like today, when you're not feeling your best physically, I believe that the emotional, mental part of it definitely feeds in. So I think what does Christa need to do to get herself feeling physically? And I think they're interchangeable, right? So take your breaths, do your meditation, whatever you have to do to get yourself aligned and get the mental and the physical part together in the best place. It's hard. It's very hard right now. I know, looking into the future, I always think about, as someone who suffered from depression for so long, one of the things that I think is really important is being able to look forward to things, big and small.
Right, exactly.
And I have, your birthday was, just a few days ago. Yay. Hope you're enjoying your toilet paper. But I have a big birthday coming up in June. And it's funny because my brother and I last year had said, oh, we're going to go to Scotland. Like, I've always wanted to go to Scotland. And he's like, yeah, let's go to Scotland. We'll go for your birthday. And that's not happening. And it's a big birthday. And it's like, okay, so maybe I'm going to celebrate that big birthday 3 months, 6 months, a year later than I expected. And that's just how it's going to be. And in the meantime, I'll have to find other things that bring me joy. And the same for you. What are those things? Talking to certain friends, or to potential, romantic people in our lives, or the day when you can go with Fred and let him, I don't know, whatever it looks like for you.
Right. I mean, I find those things now, like with building the raised garden. I was really looking forward to
Yes, exactly.
Because last year, that was what was supposed to happen last year, and Fred ruptured a disc in his spine, as I told you in the past, and he couldn't walk, for a month. I had to have a harness to hold his back legs up, and he had to rebuild his strength and heal, and it took a couple months, and that was right around this time last year, so it was not going to happen. And so to be able to do that now, and and know that I'll be planting and doing the things I love with that, and just spending a lot of time outside in my little sanctuary space outside, and the next warm day I'll be giving Fred a haircut, like,
there you go.
Things, just like you said, finding joy in the little things, and sort of bringing it back to that.
Yeah. And I know for you guys, looking forward to warmer weather, which is so funny as I sit here in a sleeveless top. I mean, it's like, it's really heated up. It's going to change, but it's really warm in Carlsbad right now. And it was last night was the first night I went to sleep with my fan. I still didn't sleep, but in theory, I was asleep with my fan on. But I know for people on the East Coast or in the Midwest, once that warm weather starts to kick in. It makes a huge difference for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to that. As much as I love cold weather, I know that under the circumstances, you guys need sun. You need to be able to sit outside.
Right. Get out. Right.
Get out when you can. It's
Right.
coming.
No, it's yeah. We had a couple days. May is usually when it starts to really pick up. So we'll get a couple nice 70-degree days, which would be really nice.
Yeah.
So, yep. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yep.
So,
one day at a time, my friend.
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, just a public service announcement.
Public service announcement.
Yeah, don't ingest or inject disinfectant.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
I'm not going to say anything about politics.
That's not politics. That is
no. I'm joking because of other conversations that you and I have. You're right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that reminder. This is only water, I swear.
Right.
All of my cleaning supplies are in the kitchen.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for that. Thank you for that reminder. I needed that.
Right. I'm looking out for everybody.
I appreciate that. Wow.
So yeah. So I see how today goes for the rest of the day. Which people on here, when you said a dance party, people are probably like, what? Like, so yes. On Fridays, I dance with my dog on Fridays. It was actually like, remember, I was doing it before, but remember you and I had a conversation, you're like using it as a sort of a celebration for the end of the week. So that's what it's officially become. So on every Friday, Freddie and I dance to different songs. And actually the song today is going to be Mr. Roboto.
Oh my gosh, fantastic. Well, unfortunately, I'm old enough to remember the video and all of the backlash. So very nice. I will look forward to that. Yes.
yes. So I'm gonna do that, even though my head hurts. Even days when I've had like fibro days, I still pull it off. So it's just good.
Yes, Christa's dog is very talented, and Christa, they have a fantastic time. So definitely something to look out for.
Right. So we're gonna do that, and then just and see how I feel the rest of the day. And like I said, it's when you have an invisible illness that people can't necessarily see, although I feel like you can see it in my eyes, but it's tough because you have to learn to just honor where you're at on that day and not worry about what other people think or how they perceive it. It's about you and your experience and being okay with that and being gentle with yourself. That's been my big lesson in this whole thing, is that I could wake up, I could go to sleep one night and be like, tomorrow I'm going to do A, B, C, and D, and E, and I'm going to get all these things done. And then you wake up and, there have been days my whole body's been on fire, and it's like, it's not going to happen. Right. And in the beginning, I would get mad and frustrated at that because I'd want to be like, well, now I can't do it, and feel like a failure. And then just get to a point where it's like, well, no, my body's doing the best that it can. I'm doing the best that I can, and be gentle, because when you're gentle, you're putting less stress on your body and you're giving an opportunity to heal and do what it needs to do.
Yes.
To get through it and get better. And then just whatever you can do that day and own that as an accomplishment and a success,
Well, also to add to that, to remember while you're honoring what you're feeling, that most people, almost everyone, is fighting some sort of battle, right?
Yep.
So being super aware of that and honoring the battle that you're fighting, whatever that looks like. And, as I've said to my mom a few times, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know, like, unless I tell you, oh, I'm anxious today, oh, my head hurts, you won't know that. So I think it's important to really give yourself grace for how you're feeling. And, I think a lot of people feel like they can't be honest. And that was something that you said when we put this podcast together, was being authentic.
Right.
People aren't often honest about what's going on with them.
Right. Well, that's the other thing too, because today I could have easily been like, I don't feel good. I don't really feel my best to be doing this. But what's accomplished in that? Like, that's not what this podcast is about. It's about, somebody might listen to this and be like, like, I can relate to feeling that way. And, at the end of the day, if you show up, you're succeeding.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And show up however you are, and being honest with that, and being authentic, like, it's one of those things where we go through, how many times do we go through, a day where somebody's like, how are you? Oh, I'm okay. And,
Right.
and if like, you really ask, like, how are you? Well, actually, I have a migraine. I've been struggling with a migraine all day. I have anxiety. I'm, feeling, and then people, that's not really why, like, I
Right.
didn't,
Well, you have to pick and choose.
but
Yeah.
my point is that in that, like, you maybe don't have to share it verbally with somebody, but inside, just, if you have to remember, well, no, I'm not okay. And it's
Right.
actually has to say, well, I'm not having the great day.
Yep.
Leave it there. If somebody wants to know more, they'll know more, but you don't have to just say, oh, I'm okay.
Right. And when I say pick and choose, I mean, like, I know there are times when I know someone will really want to know how I'm feeling, and other times it's just like,
right.
oh,
knowing who to invest in, right?
Exactly right. Exactly.
Who's okay to be, it's safe to be vulnerable with, and who isn't, who's really going to hear that, and who's just, going through and we're just being polite, social, I can't think of the word, but yeah. So, but just do the best you can, and like, showing up, and like you said, you don't know what somebody's going through, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, like, everybody's, got their struggle in one way or another, and it's a challenge. And I think as a society, I think we would do much better if we were all understanding of that, and approaching it from, everybody has something going on, so let's sort of be sensitive to each other, rather than everybody has everything going on, so suck it up. Because some people can't suck it up. Some people, that's too much energy to suck it up. Some people just need to be like, I can't today. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And living in a society where we're allowed that takes the stress off. And so that way you can get through it quicker and heal faster.
Yes.
So, or, I mean, even when I say heal, like, if you have a chronic condition, I don't know if it's like fibromyalgia. It's not really necessarily healing. It's because it's a pain sensation thing. So it's, some days you're feeling it, other days you're not. And so it's just being able to ride that wave. And I don't really look at that as healing, but as just the fluctuation.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, migraine trying to heal.
Yes. Well, let's get that healed. I'm going to get my head feeling better.
Nice. Your head hurts too?
A little bit. Yep. So we'll see what's going to fix that. I need to eat and get my breathing in, get some more exercise, and there you have it.
Can I ask you, is it a tension headache, or what kind of?
I'm not really sure. I think it's probably stress. It's not sleeping great. I think it's a number of things, but I feel mentally okay. I'm definitely having trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. It will pass.
That happens. I think everybody's on some level. I talking to a lot of friends are experiencing that, going through waves of not being able to sleep. It's just a lot of stress right now.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope you are able to get some sleep tonight.
Thank you, my friend. And I hope your head feels better.
Yeah.
Very soon.
That's the thing with the migraine, is that it's, it's the pain, but it's also like the fog. Like, I feel the fog today. That it's not mentally as sharp as I would ideally like to be. So.
Another day. There's always tomorrow.
Right.
Or later today.
Yeah, later today. Who knows? So, all right.
Okay, my dear. Well, we will do this again
on Tuesday. Oh,
we have a guest?
Yes, we have a guest.
Yay.
So Delia, our former classmate from our coaching.
Fantastic.
Yes. So we're going to chat with her and see how she's holding up and how things are going for her. So
that's fantastic. Looking forward to seeing her.
Yes, me too. All right.
Okay, my dear.
I will talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.